Satan's devices to draw the soul to sin, Part 1. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Device 1, to present the bait and hide the hook. Satan's first device to draw the soul into sin is to present the bait and hide the hook, to present the golden cup and hide the poison, to present the sweet, the pleasure, and the profit that may flow in upon the soul by yielding to sin, and to hide from the soul the wrath and misery that will certainly follow the committing of sin. By this device he deceived our first parents. And the serpent said unto the woman, You shall not surely die, for God does know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Genesis 3:4 TCN 5. Your eyes shall he opened, and you shall be as gods. Here is the bait, the sweet, the pleasure, the profit. Oh, but he hides the hook, the shame, the wrath, and the loss that would certainly follow. There is an opening of the eyes of the mind to contemplation and joy, and there is an opening of the eyes of the body to shame and confusion. He promises them the former, but intends the latter, and so Satan cheats them, giving them an apple in exchange for a paradise, as he deals by thousands nowadays. Satan with ease pawns falsehoods upon us by his golden baits, and then he leads us and leaves us in a fool's paradise. He promises the soul honor, pleasure, profit, but pays the soul with the greatest contempt, shame, and loss that can be. By a golden bait he labored to catch Christ, Matthew 4:8-9. He shows him the beauty and the finery of a bewitching world, which doubtless would have taken many a carnal heart. But here the devil's fire fell upon wet tinder, and therefore did not ignite. These tempting objects did not at all win upon his affections, nor dazzle his eyes, though many have eternally died of the wound of the eye, and fallen forever by this vile strumpet the world, who, by laying forth her two fair breasts of profit and pleasure, has wounded their souls and cast them down into utter perdition. She has, by the glistening of her pomp and preferment, slain millions, as the serpent Sicily, which, when she cannot overtake the fleeing passengers, does with her beautiful colours dazzle and amaze them, so that they have no power to pass away until she has stung them to death. Adversity has slain her 1,000, but prosperity her 10,000. Remedy 1. First, keep at the greatest distance from sin, and from playing with the golden bait which Satan holds forth to catch you. For this you have, Romans 12:9. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. When we meet with anything extremely evil and contrary to us, nature abhors it and retires as far as it can from it. The word abhor signifies to hate it as hell itself, to hate it with horror. Anselm used to say that if he should see the shame of sin on the one hand and the pains of hell on the other, and must of necessity choose one, he would rather be thrust into hell without sin than to go into heaven with sin. So great was his hatred and detestation of sin. It is our wisest and our safest course to stand at the farthest distance from sin, not to go near the house of the harlot, but to fly from all appearance of evil. Proverbs 5:8, as 1 Thessalonians 5:22. The best course to prevent falling into the pit is to keep at the greatest distance from it. He who will be so bold as to attempt to dance upon the brink of the pit may find by woeful experience that it is a righteous thing with God that he should fall into the pit. Joseph keeps at a distance from sin and from playing with Satan's golden baits and stands. David draws near and plays with the bait and falls and swallows bait and hook. David comes near the snare and is taken in it to the breaking of his bones, the wounding of his conscience, and the loss of fellowship with his God. Sin is a plague, yes, the worst and most infectious plague in the world, and yet, how few are there who tremble at it, who keep at a distance from it. 1 Corinthians 5:6. Don't you know that a little leaven leavens the whole lump? As soon as one sin had seized upon Adam's heart, all sin entered into his soul and infested it. How has Adam's one sin spread over all mankind? Romans 5:12. Therefore, as by one man's sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. How does the father's sin infect the child, the husband's infect the wife, the master's the servant? The sin that is in one man's heart is able to infect a whole world, it is of such a spreading and infectious nature. The story of the Italian, who first made his enemy deny God and then stabbed him, and so at once murdered both body and soul, declares the unmixed malignity of sin. And oh, that what has been spoken upon this head may prevail with you, to stand at a distance from sin. Remedy 2. Consider that sin is but a bitter sweet. That seeming sweet that is in sin will quickly vanish, and lasting shame, sorrow, horror, and terror will come in the room thereof. He enjoyed the taste of his wickedness, letting it melt under his tongue. He savoured it, holding it long in his mouth. But suddenly, the food he has eaten turns sour within him, a poisonous venom in his stomach. Job 20:12-14. Forbidden profits and pleasures are most pleasing to vain men who count madness mirth. Many long to be meddling with the murdering morsels of sin, which nourish not, but rend and consume the belly, and the soul that receives them. Many eat that on earth what they digest in hell. Sin's murdering morsels will deceive those who devour them. Adam's apple was a bitter sweet. Esau's bowl of stew was a bitter sweet. The Israelites' quails a bitter sweet. Jonathan's honey a bitter sweet. And Adonijah's dainties a bitter sweet. After the meal is ended, then comes the reckoning. Men must not think to dance and dine with the devil, and then to sup with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven, to feed upon the poison of asps, and yet that the viper's tongue should not slay them. When the asp stings a man, it does first tickle him so as it makes him laugh, until the poison, little by little, gets to the heart, and then it pains him more than ever it delighted him. So does sin. It may please a little at first, but it will pain the soul at last. Yes, if there were the least real delight in sin, there could be no consummate hell, where men shall most completely be tormented with their sin. Remedy 3. Solemnly to consider that sin will usher in the greatest and the saddest losses that can be upon our souls. It will usher in the loss of that divine favour which is better than life, and the loss of that joy which is unspeakable and full of glory, and the loss of that peace which passes understanding, and the loss of those divine influences by which the soul has been refreshed, quickened, raised, strengthened, and gladdened, and the loss of many outward desirable mercies which otherwise the soul might have enjoyed. Remedy 4. Seriously to consider that sin is of a very deceitful and bewitching nature. Sin is from the greatest deceiver. It is a child of his own begetting. It is the ground of all the deceit in the world, and it is in its own nature exceeding deceitful. But exhort one another daily, while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Hebrews 3:13. It will kiss the soul, and look enticing to the soul, and yet betray the soul forever. It will with Delilah smile upon us, that it may betray us into the hands of the devil, as she did Samson into the hands of the Philistines. Sin gives Satan a power over us, and an advantage to accuse us and to lay claim to us as those who wear his badge. It is of a very bewitching nature. It bewitches the soul where it is upon the throne, that the soul cannot leave it, though it perish eternally by it. Sin so bewitches the soul that it makes the soul call evil good, and good evil, bitter sweet, and sweet bitter, light darkness, and darkness light. And a soul thus bewitched with sin will stand it out to the death at the sword's point with God. Let God strike and wound, and cut to the very bone, yet the bewitched soul cares not, fears not, but will still hold on in a course of wickedness, as you may see in Pharaoh, Balaam, and Judas. Tell the bewitched soul that sin is a viper that will certainly kill when it is not killed, that sin often kills secretly, insensibly, eternally, yet the bewitched soul cannot and will not cease from sin. When the physicians told Theotimus that, except he did abstain from drunkenness and uncleanness, he would lose his eyes, his heart was so bewitched to his sins that he answered, "Then farewell, sweet light." He had rather lose his eyes than leave his sin. So, a man bewitched with sin had rather lose God, Christ, heaven, and his own soul, than part with his sin. Oh, therefore, forever take heed of playing with or nibbling at Satan's golden baits.